What's going on, guys? Alright, today I'm going to show you how I trade stock weekly options. This is on Thinkorswim from TD Ameritrade. This is basically my main setup. This is what I look at most of the time. And then I also have this over here. I don't know why this says TLT. Let's go to SPY. So this video is just going to be on kind of how I trade weekly options, SPY options, high liquidity, high volume stocks. I never trade stocks like, what's this one I looked at today? Mark is the ticker symbol, Remark Holdings. What the fuck is that? Delete. Alright, let me go to here. So, yeah, no, I'm not interested in this. The volume is super low. You can see it's all choppy and it looks like a penny stock. So basically, this video is just how I trade weekly options or shorter term contracts on high liquidity stocks like the S&P 500 index, which is the SPY. Alright, so if I'm trading shorter term contracts like weeklies, dailies, couple day contracts, basically anything that's shorter than like a month of time, because usually I do trade option contracts with a month of time, if not maybe 3 months. I don't usually go for like yearly contracts. That gets into the Greeks and all that shit too much. But long story short, this is what I would look at. So I have two different moving averages here. We can pull this up. The simple moving average, the 200, which is more of a longer term one, and then the simple moving average, the 50. Yeah, that's for the volume. Alright, so these two, and basically what that means is I use these to see if the overall stock is in an uptrend. So if we go to the 1 year, we can see here, if we go right here, it's been in an uptrend this whole time ever since it passed the 50 moving average. It's been in an uptrend, and basically ever since it was above the 200 daily moving average as well. But as you can see, once it falls below that, that's when it would be a bear market, or when it's in a downtrend. So you should never rely on any single or two indicators like this, but this is what I use. And then another reason why I use it is it also is used for support and resistance. So if you look here, this $200 day moving average is used as a strong support. So you can see it bounced up from here. There was a little bit of consolidation there, bounced here, consolidation, bounced, touched, basically touched again. So you know that, as you can see here, when it fell below, that's more of a downtrend, and it had a reversal here. You can see on these other indicators that we're going to get into on the RSI and the MACD, it was oversold. But that's basically the two moving averages that I use. So one more indicator that I like to use sometimes, I don't always use it, but I can add it here, the VWAP. So let's add that, add selected. Let's go here. Well, first you can see this is the VWAP. It's too fucking many lines and too confusing for me, like fuck that. So what I would do is I go into here, I go to the upper band, show plot, nope, lower band, show plot, because it's 3 lines, which is the VWAP. And so if we just keep the middle one, it makes it a lot more simple. So this pink line here is the VWAP, and what the VWAP basically means is the volume weighted average price. So it shows you where big moves could happen. It also can act as support and resistance. So if we look over here, it broke through the VWAP very easily and it shot right up. Again, same thing here, and it can act as support and resistance, but I don't use that as much. I'm gonna just delete it because I don't need it. Alright, so one more thing that I like to do often, which is one of the best indicators in my opinion, is just simple support and resistance. So you know that the moving averages are used as support and resistance, and also shows you the overall trend. But if we go here, we select price level, we just find, so what support and resistance kind of means is just where a stock has either bounces from regularly or it touches and comes back down, or if it breaks through, it's usually a big breakthrough. And how to identify it is where the stock will touch it at least 3 times. So I can see one right here. If we go here and all the way down, right about there, this line, let's go back to the cursor, we can see it touched here, bounced back up, broke through strongly, and then it touched here again, bounced back down, came all the way back, and it had strong support right here, and it wasn't able to break through, or strong resistance, I mean, not support. Support is when it comes down, resistance when it goes up. So I'll use this a lot. It's very easy to use, and once you get used to it, it's pretty easy to identify. Like, I just found another one right here. Basically touched once, bounced, came through, broke through, touched, came down, touched, came down. If this would have kept extending, so you extend to the left, we can see it broke down easily, came up, had some resistance, and it pulled back down. So support and resistance, it gives you an idea of where the stock could potentially have a pullback or a bounce, or kind of what the stock is going to do in the future. Alright, so the next indicator is this volume. It's not even really an indicator, every platform has this, but I use the volume average, and I also have the candlesticks colored. When you use TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim, they usually just have it overlapped like right in here with the blue, and so you just hit not overlap volume, and then I added this indicator, the volume average. And so basically what this does is, if we go to a shorter time frame, the 1 day 1 minute, zoom in here, it shows you the volume on a specific trend basically. So let's look here right in the morning. There was a lot, it was in a downtrend, and there was a lot of selling volume. It was a big red candle, one of the biggest all day, and then we can see right here with this candle, this green pop, it was a very strong uptrend. So what that means basically is there's more, right here there was more buyers, and right here there was more sellers than normal. So right now, as I'm making this, SPY is starting to pop off a little bit. But if we look at the volume, it's not very high volume at all, at least compared to the rest of the day. It's actually below the moving average. So that means that it could very easily still reverse, or it could just be a fake out. It could definitely come back down, or if we get a lot of green volume, maybe above the moving average, that would be more of a bullish sign. Alright, so this next indicator, you've probably seen it before. Most stock traders use it. It's very popular. The RSI, which stands for the Relative Strength Index or indicator. You can see the numbers that I have on it right here. I think this is just the basic, the standard RSI configuration numbers or whatever. But basically what it does is, you can see it shows you when a stock is overbought or oversold. So that's what these 2 lines right here mean. And as we can see right here, when it was oversold, it bounced back up. It doesn't always have to do this, but it bounced back up because it was oversold. It came back down again, and it began to reverse. So it came back down right here. As we can see, it was oversold again. That's where the little blue is, right down here. And it started to pop back up, and it happened again. So we can even go to a longer time frame. Let's do 180 days. If this shit'll fucking load, for fuck's sakes. I don't know why my charts have been doing this today. Here we go. So yeah, right here you can see it was oversold. It got a small push back up, and it continued to downtrend a little bit, and it didn't get oversold that time because it's taking the overall average. So right here at the start of the Wuhan whatever virus you want to call it, it was oversold a bunch, and then it got this pop, and it started to adapt to the downtrend. So it, even though it was still down a lot, it wasn't oversold anymore. And then it started to straight sell off again, got oversold, stock popped a little bit, and it kept selling off, but it wasn't oversold anymore, which means it didn't have to be a reversal coming, which it doesn't have to anyways. But that just shows that on average it's not oversold or overbought. And if we look back here, so it was oversold right here, bounced back. Actually, it didn't even really bounce back, but you get the idea. Right here it was oversold, came down a little bit, and then now it took the average of the price, and the stock continued to keep uptrending, and right here was oversold again. Small pullback, took the average, came back up, oversold again, pulled back. You get the idea. So that's basically what the RSI is. A lot of people use it. It's one of my favorite. Again, you can't rely on any indicator. If I were to solely rely on the RSI, I'd probably lose a fuck ton of money. Alright, the last indicator I have here is the MACD. This one basically shows somewhat of the same idea as the RSI. So if we, if we zoom in here, when the RSI is oversold, so is the MACD. And the thing I like about the MACD is when you see these two lines cross, that means it's about to be a reversal. So if we look right where it crossed, which was right here, right where it crossed, it began to uptrend again. And then it crossed here again, as you can see down here, and the stock began to sell off again. So it's basically the same thing as the RSI, just shows a little bit of a different and better picture. I believe these are the standard numbers for it. I'm not positive, but I don't think I messed with them at all. So I just keep it at the standard numbers, and it gives you a better visual. Alright, so you guys are probably wondering what the fuck this is over here. So let me just make that bigger. Let's move that one smaller. So this indicator is the Bollinger Bands. Let me pull this up. So these are the settings I have for it, the 200 length, and then I have the -1 and 1 for the deviation, or whatever the fuck that means. It just makes it, in my opinion, better. And then I have the volume average, which we already went over that. That's down there. But what this does is all three of these lines can act as strong support or resistance, and it also shows the overall trend of the stock. So basically kind of like the moving averages. But as we can see, there was a lot of support and resistance here, and when it breaks through it, it usually just shoots right through it. There was support here, or resistance, I mean, and same with the bottom trend. So if we go to let's scroll out here with the 1 year 1 day chart. So when the stock is above this top line, that means you're in an uptrend, and let's say it falls below, that's beginning to be like right here would be a perfect time to get in on a trade, and right here would be a perfect time to exit a trade. Now it's not that easy, but that would be ideal, and it kind of shows you, again, you could buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here. I guess that won't even be too much of a fucking profit, but when it goes below this bottom line or even the middle line, that's showing you that you're in a pullback or a downtrend. And then once it goes back above this bottom line, which again can be used as support and resistance, you can see there was a lot of resistance and support here. But once it goes back above that, you could expect for it to maybe enter another uptrend. So this is where we are right now. The market's actually open right now, but fuck, what am I doing? Let's go to the 1 day 1 minute again. So this is where we're at right now. Came down here, bounced almost on it, and we're coming back up. So if I were to enter a trade on SPY, which I'm not going to, but if I were and I was to simply look at only this indicator, I would most likely wait for it to pass this green line just in case it acts as resistance, and once it goes above it, it will most likely act as support. So once it's above it, it will most likely continue to uptrend like it did here, and then once it crossed below it again, that would be a good time to get out, or the signal of a downtrend. So if you guys follow my Instagram, or if you know me at all, you know that I don't really trade off technicals too much. I like just trading off simple price action, so how the stock is moving. So I usually just look at this 5 chart setup right here. On Tesla down here, I have the what's it called? Fuck, why can't I think of the name? the Fibonacci retracement, and I just use that because it clearly acts as support and resistance pretty well, and I can get into that on another video, but this is basically what I look at. And then if I want to trade, I would go to trade over here. This is on the SPY. So all these in the, this is again on TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim, but all these in the yellow are weekly contracts. So basically I could just, if I'm trading a weekly, let's see, the date today is June 2nd. Let's say if I thought by the end of the week the S&P 500, which is currently at 306, if I thought it was going to go to, Jesus, why do I have so many of these? Let's go to 12. Okay, here we go. So if I thought it was going to go to 310, I would buy this one on the call side, and I would just follow some of the trends. I don't solely rely on any of the trends. Price action is more important, as well as fundamental analysis. Same with technical analysis, but you get the idea. So that's pretty much it. That's how I would trade weeklies. That's how I do trade weeklies. Again, I don't trade weekly or daily contracts as much as I do longer term contracts. If I were to show you my portfolio right now, which I don't feel like it, but if I were, most are June, July, August, September contracts. And again, I usually trade on Tastyworks, so let's say I was finding the trend, doing whatever over here, I would just whip this over, go over here, boom, 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 310, review and send. Yeah, I'm not going to do that though, but that's what I would do because I like Tastyworks better. So that's basically the video. Let me know if you have any questions. Drop your thumbs up on the video, subscribe. Kind of shitty quality video, but whatever, I hope it helps. Follow my Instagram at The True Wealth. Is that it? Yeah, link in the Instagram, free ebook, free Discord, free, that's it. Alright, peace out, guys.